Alright, so we've got an exhaust manifold crack here. I don't know if you can see that. It looks like somebody actually tried to fix it before. And that's what I'm assuming that black stuff is. And, didn't fix it. But we're going to try it using this stuff. This is Rutland cement for it's meant for like stoves and stuff. Yeah, this is for sealing joints for stoves and furnaces. And I guess you have to mix it and then just coat it on there. I've got a plastic glove here. Instructions were, let's look at the instructions here. It says that it's ready to use high heat silicate cement. It's good for like 2,000 degrees. So, 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, which should be enough to cover the engine. Originally, I had thought of using the JB Weld, but I think that only goes to like 300 degrees, and I think the Manifold actually gets hotter than that. But 2,000 should be enough to cover it. So hopefully this will actually work. We're going to try to stir this thing up, dampen this area, then coat it, and see if that holds it. Because like right now the car has all sorts of sensor issues, probably because of this leak. Seems to be running fine, but I'm concerned with breathing the exhaust, which is blowing into the engine bay and possibly being sucked into the vehicle. So we'll see how it goes. So I've opened the container, and it's got this black stuff in it, and I guess we're gonna try to stir it up with this and see how well it goes. Alright, I stuck the screwdriver in there and tried to stir it, but it doesn't seem to stir it. It's like all caked up. So I'm going to use the glove and just mix it and knead it like a dough and see if that does any better. It's like crusty and dry. Alright, I don't know if you can see here. I tried to mix it up, but it wasn't really mixing. So I just started grabbing globs of it. It's kind of like dirt, almost like clay, but not even as smooth as clay. It's kind of like coffee almost. Yeah, that was the texture. So I've been putting water on it and then just mixing that stuff in and then just rubbing it around to try to make a coating, hopefully a thick enough coating around the leak. And then we'll see what happens. I'm gonna let it dry overnight and then start it up. I might even make more just to make it thicker, because it seems like it was awfully thin. Imagine trying to get coffee grounds and then you have to put water on it to soften it, and when you do, it kind of becomes super thin. But I kind of did as much as I could, so I know you can't see any leaks at least. So hopefully it'll hold, and we'll see how the car does with the manifold, the exhaust manifold leak patched with this stuff. This stuff is Rutland cement for hot temperatures. It's furnace cement. So we'll see if furnace cement can actually repair a cracked engine manifold, exhaust manifold. Stay tuned. Alright, welcome back to day 2 of my attempt to repair the engine exhaust manifold, which had a crack in it. As you can see, I had sealed it up using this stuff, this furnace cement, and I let it dry for like a couple hours, and then decided to start up the engine, and it held, but it was puffing up. So I shut off the engine and let it cool down, and I'm planning on doing another layer, but with reinforcement this time. And this stuff was kind of difficult to put down because it almost has like the texture of coffee, and you have to kind of mix it like clay, but it doesn't really want to mix, but it seems to dilute with water. So what my plan today is, I'm gonna take this and mix it in that little bowl there, this little thingy here, with some water, and actually turn it kind of pasty. And then I'm going to coat this again with a layer of this stuff, the cement here, and I'm gonna reinforce it with a V8. Yeah, actually I bought this V8 from Dollar Tree yesterday with this potential intention of using the V8 can to help strengthen that. So what I'm going to do is cut a sliver of aluminum from the V8 can, and I'm going to put it right here along the seam where the original gap was, where the opening was, the crack. So I'm going to kind of bring it out almost kind of like a V shape. And the plan is to put the cement down, glue it down with the V8, then wrap tie it with some solid wiring. And believe it or not, this wiring came from when they were putting together the Pace spaceship. They tossed it and I grabbed it from the trash. So it looks like Faith is actually going to have a component from spaceship. So that's pretty neat, huh? So I'm not going to be able to film while I'm doing it. So I will go ahead and try to stop at each stage where I can and show you what's going on. So stay tuned for that. All right, as you can see, I've cut from the aluminum can there, the V8, a sliver that's kind of almost like a triangle shape, trapezoid. And I'm going to be putting it with the smaller end that way where the corner is, like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to coat some more of the black cement on it, wet it down, then set that down, try to make it really tight. Then I'm going to take the copper wire and wrap it around. Now I did check the temperature, the melting temperature of everything, because the manifold can get as high as 1200 degrees Fahrenheit. Now I was reading on the aluminum can and it said it'll withstand about 1200, and the wire will withstand about 1000. So normally, from what I read, the manifold shouldn't get that high, but it could get that high. So I'm hoping it doesn't get that high. And then I'm going to go ahead and, it's what I have available, so I'm going to try it and we'll see how it does. The purpose for the aluminum is to kind of hold down the paste so it doesn't puff up. So I'm gonna wrap it up pretty tight and then see if it holds down, and I'm gonna coat it extra thick. Alright, so it didn't quite go as smoothly as I'd hoped. I had put a sliver of metal underneath and then tried to tie it down, and I couldn't get it to tie down. I really need probably mechanic's wire or something, but I didn't have any on hand, so I was using the wiring. But then I noticed the wiring, those wires, they actually are stranded, so they're not really that good. They're not going to be that useful. So I went ahead and tied it just to hold everything in place. I did coat it really thick, and then I cut another piece of aluminum to kind of go across the whole connection here to try to spread, when the air goes through and it tries to push it up, to try to spread the pressure so it's not in one point, so it's kind of spread out over that whole area. And then I was going to tie it down with some more of that wire, but it's not working out so well, so I'm just going to leave it like that for now. And then when it dries, I may put another coat of the black stuff on it, the cement, or I may just leave it like this. But I'm going to let it dry for a couple hours and then try it out and see if the repair is somewhat permanent. Alright, hopefully this is the final follow-up on the situation with repairing my Sienna exhaust manifold that was cracked, that had a crack in it and was leaking exhaust. You can see I have the V8 can all tied up. So there was a crack that ran along the bottom that I coated with the black stuff. Then I cut a triangular strip of V8 aluminum can and put it on top of that to seal the hole. Then I put some more black goop on it, and that black goop is this furnace cement, Rutland furnace cement, which actually seems more like coffee grounds or dirt, so you gotta kind of mix it with water. Even though it says to mix it up and then put it in there, have the thing wet, I found it easier to just mix it in a bowl or something with a little bit of water to make it kind of like clay, and then kind of goop it on there. I also used some wire to, should probably have wire without the plastic on it because that'll melt, but I didn't have any and I just went ahead and put it on there like that. But it seems to be holding. So at this point right now, what I'm planning on doing is mixing a little bit more of this goop, this black furnace cement, and coating the metal plate here just to hold it in place. I did drive the vehicle to work, and it appears to be holding. So I don't seem to be losing exhaust. You know, the exhaust seems to be going out the muffler like it's supposed to now. So maybe this fixed the problem. We will see, but I'm feeling pretty confident. So right now we're gonna just get more black stuff and just scoop it all along this. I am going to cut the wire, you know, that I've tied here, so there's not so much of it sticking out. And then I'll just try to make it look nicer with the black on it. And hopefully that will finish it up. Now what I did, just so you're aware, when I had the black stuff, you're supposed to let it dry for at least an hour. I let it dry for like several hours until I was pretty sure it was dry. Then I started the vehicle up for like maybe 10, 15, 20 seconds to let heat flow through and shut it off. And I let it sit overnight. It seems like, you know, when you first let it dry, it's still kind of rubbery. But after you let it cool down and stuff, it starts to get hard. And when you run the engine for a few seconds, you know, it gets hot and then it kind of bakes it. And then it becomes a little bit more solid. So this is a little bit more solid, like cement. So the plan now is just to put some more on it and then maybe run the engine tonight for, you know, a couple seconds to let it set, and then drive it around like normal, and hopefully the vehicle run like normal. As far as I know, they should do it. Until next time, everyone, take care. If there's an update, I will let you know. Otherwise, you can assume that the fix actually worked. Alright, here then is the finished product. I have slapped some more of that the paste, this stuff, furnace cement. Slapped some more on there. You can see it's pretty thick because the crack had been right there. It's been reinforced with a V8 can. So this Toyota Sienna now has a V8 in the engine. And hopefully it'll actually hold, and the situation with the leaking exhaust will have been fixed. Got several other issues I got to deal with. Some lights are coming on, the track on light, door light, and VSC, I think. So I'm trying to figure out what's causing that and trying to track it down and get those fixed. And then I think all the lights in the engine will be off, other than the check engine, which was probably due to this. But we will see. Right now the vehicle is running, seems to be running fine. With this patched up, as long as it doesn't leak again, we should be good to go. So stay tuned. We now begin the build out of Faith, which is the name of this camper van. So stay tuned for that video.